राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजनाय। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजनाय। जमुना तीरा बनचारी। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। बनचारी। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Anarpita charim chirat karunayavatirna kalau Samarpayitumunnato jvalarasam svabhakti shriyam Harihi purata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipitaha Sada hridaya kandare Spuratu vaha shachi nandanaha Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varyo Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Yasuya Vasakandara Kandamulaihi Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. I'm very grateful to be here. My great gratitude to His Grace Nrsimha Rupa Prabhu. Well, every cell of yours exudes sweetness and devotion, Prabhu. We just come here to catch it. Thankful to the management here for giving the opportunity to serve you all in this way. And the last 7 days seem to have passed by very quickly. And I was thinking, why? Because if we are around happy people, time passes by quickly. So I'm very grateful. Today we'll be discussing about our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, who has given us a new life. So first of all, our prayers to seek blessings from Srila Prabhupada and all his disciples. Any senior devotees are here. I would also like to seek their blessings so that we can please our Acharyas, please Srila Prabhupada with our discussion, and something what we'll speak can inspire us, enter our hearts and move us one step closer to the most beautiful Kala Chanji, Shri Radha and Shri Kala Chanji. Hare Krishna. When we enter this room, when I have entered the room before also, the first thing which strikes, of course, is Kala Chanji, Shri Radha Kala Chanji, but also the paintings, isn't it? Beautiful paintings, and Srila Prabhupada would say the paintings are the windows to the spiritual world. Because the paintings generate contradictory emotions in us, which is for good, like the hot sugarcane juice. We want to drink it, but it's hot. So when we look at the paintings, even in material life, it reminds us of the sweet times. Right? We have the memories connected with the paintings or the pictures or the selfies these days. It reminds us of the union we had with the person who is there in the picture, isn't it? But simultaneously it reminds us of that separation, that I am far away. Union and separation. That's what we see in these paintings also. we feel, we are closer to Krishna, isn't it? There's this Srila picture or the Govardhan picture. Then there is a picture, I think here, of the Gocharan Leela. We feel, this is what we read in Bhagavatam, isn't it? And now it is alive in front of us in the form of these paintings. So union, but then separation. We are far away. This motive, this idea of paintings to instill in us both this union idea and separation has been utilized over and over again by our acharyas. Let's begin with Srila Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami wrote 2 dramas. Those were the earlier ways of entertainment, spiritual entertainment. They were the grand moms of the movies today, the dramas. Because they have a hearing component, which we call Shravya, but dramas can also invoke in us an imagination, isn't it? That is the Drishya component. And what can be well if the dramas are enacted, isn't it? Then we can see. So Rupa Goswami wrote Vidagdha Madhava. It's a drama. And it's such an amazing coincidence that when he was writing around the same time, somebody else was writing dramas in England. We know about him? William Shakespeare. Now we spell him as Shakespeare, but never he signed his name like that. Some of the scholars believe that we don't even know who was Shakespeare. Maybe he was a combination of 1,000 different playwrights. But those were the times where the personal identity was not important, but rather important was the creation of the person. So Rupa Goswami is also writing some plays. Shakespeare may be writing about the Romeo and the Juliet, or the taming of the shrew. And the characters there are ordinary, isn't it? But Rupa Goswami is writing about Divya, transcendental, Nayaka, actor, and Naika, heroine, hero and heroine, Radha and Krishna. So he wrote a play called Lalit Madhav. Madhav means Madhav, Krishna. Lalit means playful. So it has 10 acts. We know about acts? 10 acts. An act means you change the scene, you change the props. In the Act 9, there is a description of what we called Nava Vrindavan. What? Nava Vrindavan. But it's set in Dwarka. Why? Because even though Krishna is Dwarkanath, he can't remain too aloof from his remembrance of Vrindavan. Very quickly he gets it. Like all of us when we work in corporate or other places. We can't remain too aloof from our remembrances of what we did in Sunday in the temple. It just comes back. So it comes back for Krishna. So a celestial architect called Vishwakarma makes Navrindavan. And Navrindavan is everything about Vrindavan. In fact, some of the statues could also be there which remind Krishna of Vrindavan. And just like who is the controlling deity of Vrindavan? Vrinda Devi. So who is the controlling deity of Vrindavan? Navavrinda. And she has asked Vishwakarma to do what? Create a gallery. Gallery of paintings. And Radha and Krishna, well, it's an intricate plot. Radha comes as Satyabhama there. That for some other day. But Radha and Krishna are walking and Navrinda tells, let's look at what? Paintings. Chronologically. So first they go to Krishna's birth. Then they go to Yashoda Mai churning the butter. And Radha, seeing Yashoda Mai churning the butter, weeps. Oh, she is so nice. So what a lesson is taught to us? A devotee appreciates other service. They don't feel envious. It's not Radharani saying, Are, I could do much better. She is doing so wonderfully. She weeps. And then Krishna says, oh ho ho, I gave such a trouble to my parents because I kicked a cart and the cart tumbled. Which demon? Shakatasura. So the entire Leela is being revisited. And then Navrinda tells silently, Looks like Vishwakarma has secretly missed the pastime of Kaliya Daman Leela because Radharani may feel anxious. Why? Because Krishna had fainted. And likewise, later on, there is a pastime in which we all love that pastime. Whole 1 month is dedicated to that pastime. Do we know that pastime? Damodar Leela. So through this interaction, Navrinda is asking, hey, your mom tied you. You untie the knots in the hearts of everyone. Why can't you untie yourself? Good question, right? So Krishna speaks and we can speak together. Vatsalya mandala mayena, Vatsalya mandala mayena, mamoru damna. Yah kopi bandha garima, Yakopi bandha garima, nirmai matra. He is telling, my mother has tied me. With Uru is belly, Damna is the rope. And it is filled with what? Vatsalya, the love, affection of the mother. Vatsalya mandala. It is full of Vatsalya. Tanmuktaye Paramabadha Vimokshanopi. I can liberate Paramabadha, somebody who is really caught up in the material world, and liberate him. Even materialists also sing about it, right? We have songs. There must be some kind of way out of here. Anybody remembers this song? Bob Dylan, he got a Nobel Prize in Literature for music. Never heard about. But he said this, there is too much confusion. So even they talk about, and Krishna is talking about those who are too much engrossed. I can relieve them, but Naham kshame sakhi, Naham kshame sakhi, parasya tu ka kathatra. I cannot untie that because it has been tied by Mother Yashoda. And like this, all the Leelas are happening, and finally Akrura comes to take Krishna, and Radharani says, I don't want to see that. It's too much. But then they suddenly change the topic to, oh, that's where Krishna is killing Kansa, and she rejoices. Not only in Krishna Leela, but even in Ram Leela, this motif, this idea of paintings is used. There was a contemporary poet of Kalidas, who is considered the Shakespeare of India, called Bhavabhuti. He wrote Uttara Ramacharit. There also similar thing. Lakshman says to Ram, hey Ram, brother, mother, we have a gallery arranged for you by an architect called Arjun. All right, let's go and see. So Siya Mata asks, who are these two divine personalities standing in front of you? Ram says, oh, these are the weapons of yawning. These are the Drimbhakastra. If you play them, people will just keep yawning. And all of us who have the intercontinental travel, we understand that if you get yawning continuously, it can be really irritating. You can't do anything. So yawning astra, and then he blesses Mother Sita because she is pregnant at that time, that your kids will get it for free. Then they go, and finally a description comes of Ram's banishment to forest. We all know about it. Who did the banishment? Kaikeyi, right? But who was the instigator behind Kaikeyi? Mantra. And Lakshman says, oh, here is the description of mantra. Ram immediately changes the topic. He said, no, let's go here. Let's look at something else. Why did he do that? Because done is done. Forget, forgive, move on. In fact, it was his divine play to serve the priests, serve the sages in Dandakaranya, isn't it? So amazing Ram, he doesn't want to delve over what has happened in the past. Then suddenly Lakshman comes and says, oh, this is the Parvat where you were doing the, before he could say Ram says, stop it. What was it? It was the Agni Pariksha of Sita. And he didn't want to. It was his duty to do, but he didn't want to delve over it. So even in Ram Leela. And our dear, His Holiness, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, whose mercy we are all basking today, he created the similar device. In his wonderful book, drama called, anybody remembers this drama? There's another one, Prabhupada Antya Leela. Because we are separated from Prabhupada, so all of us have that shokarati, shok, lamentation. But when lamentation is lifted up through the medium of drama or kavya to the level of ras, then it becomes relishable and inspirational, isn't it? Even the lamentation is inspirational. That's why on Disappearance Day, we sometimes dance more, because they are inspiring us. So His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj in his Prabhupada Antya Leela book begins the first act with seeing the gallery. He's walking with His Holiness, any guesses? Bhakti Charu Maharaj. And Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj is saying, Maharaj, I think I have missed the childhood. You were in the childhood with Prabhupada, because he was there with Prabhupada right in the beginning. But I missed that. Can you tell me about those days? Because Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj came in, I think, 75 or something like that. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj, or as His Holiness Shivram Maharaj calls him, Goswami Maharaj, was there early on. So Maharaj is walking. One picture by another picture. Exactly how Navavrinda is taking them, exactly how Arjun is taking in Ram Leela, and here Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj is taking Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Look at this picture. Prabhupada is touching the rose petals. Just like the rose, he is so soft. Oh, look at that picture. He is coming out of the airplane in San Francisco airport. We know that historical picture in which Allen Ginsberg is there, Shyamasundar Prabhu is there, and Shyamasundar Prabhu's dog is also there. Kind of walking in the front and announcing the arrival of a Jagat Guru. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, but look at him, he is 3 times our age, yet we cannot catch him. Then Bhakti Charu Maharaj gets little emotional. He says, but why is he suffering? He is having so much of pain. This is July 1977. Prabhupada left the world in November, I think 14, 1977. So these are few months before. And it is said, I heard, that His Holiness Goswami Maharaj had this so much in his heart. He just lifted that up to the rasa level so that it will be inspirational to us through creating this drama. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj looks at the picture and says that, oh, Prabhupada we are handing a prasadam plate to Prabhupada. Then he says, but today, Prabhupada doesn't eat much. He just takes a little juice. Tamal Krishna Maharaj is creating this drama for us to reminisce, recollect what happened in those last months. Now, when they are seeing the picture, they are feeling union and separation. And when we are reading this drama, we are feeling union and separation. Personality, who is an eternal Vrajavasi, Srila Prabhupada. But he kept it quite hidden. Early on, in the early days, Prabhupada is sitting and Brahmanand Maharaj, His Holiness Brahmanand Maharaj is sitting here, just we can imagine, and Prabhupada starts to go into an ecstasy saying, Krishna, 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 Krishna. And suddenly Brahmanand Maharaj lets out a gasp, as though he's stuck with, a powerful spiritual electric force. Then in Gorakhpur, you know about Gorakhpur? Prabhupada was singing, Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Then the Kartal, suddenly fell from his hand and tun, 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 it went. The room was silent and syringe of tears, and nobody knew what to do because Prabhupada would keep it quiet. So they started singing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then they went and asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, if such things happen, what should we do? Prabhupada just dismissed it, said, this does not happen very often. Why? Because our acharyas want to keep bhakti very grounded and not something in the air and mystical. It's where the rubber meets the road. As we have been discussing, bhakti yogis are interested in mukti, not after the life, but right here, right now. The effect should be seen right here, right now. Otherwise, what's the point of practicing devotion? Can it make us light-hearted now? Can it make us have concern and love for others right now? Can it make us feel for Krishna right here and right now? I think that's the yardstick. So Prabhupada wants to reveal. And in this play, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj tries to do some things by creating some extra characters like Shraddha Devi, Yogamaya Devi, and they are talking about Prabhupada. They are talking about the different Maharajas. Oh, how much love they have for Srila Prabhupada. So this is an eternal Vrajavasi, a Nitya Siddha. But he comes and takes birth in Bengal. But how can an eternal Vrajavasi remain aloof from even the Vrindavan of the earth? The spiritual world is aprakat, isn't it? We cannot see with our eyes. It is behind the curtain of Yogamaya. And 5,000 years ago, it just comes out like the curtains are parted. That is Prakata Vrindavan. Prakata Vrindavan then disappears after 125 years, right? That's the Krishna's lifetime. But some things are remaining outside. We always give the example that like you have dramas, curtains open, curtains closed, but somebody forgets his dhoti outside. Or an uttariya outside. Or a prop outside. And then somebody has to come hiding up and take from underneath the curtain. So, some things were forgotten. Any ideas what were forgotten? Govardhan was forgotten. Yamuna was forgotten. Brajraj was forgotten. The Chaurasi Khambat, 84 pillared place was forgotten. So these are special place. This is called the third type of Vrindavan, which is Drishtavan Vrindavan. Aprakat, prakat. What's remaining is Drishtavan. So what's up with this place which is 3 hours south east of Delhi? Where we go, right? Is it Aprakat, Prakat, Drishtavan? We call it Bhauma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan of earth, because it has been rendered sacred due to the presence of these items which were left. Just like in Bhagavad Gita. Did Krishna speak all the 700 verses? No. He spoke 574 verses. Arjuna spoke 84 verses. Sanjaya spoke a whopping number, 41 verses. And you know how many verses Dhritarashtra spoke? 1. So why do we call the first verse as Gita? Because what Krishna spoke sprinkled that spiritual fragrance so that the entire thing becomes Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So now when we go to Vrindavan, there's a now Domino's Pizza also. I'm not saying that's Bhaum Vrindavan, but the whole area around Govardhan, Yamuna, Brajraj is Bhaum Vrindavan. So Srila Prabhupada came from Aprakat Vrindavan, correct? But how can he remain aloof from the Bhaum Vrindavan, isn't it? He first visited Vrindavan in 1925 at the age of 29 years. And who was instigator for having him go to Vrindavan? His Guru, His Holiness Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who met him 3 years ago. Where? Now it's a historic place. If you all go to Kolkata, you can drive, and it is maybe 30 minutes away from the airport. It's called One Ulta Danga Junction Road. Now, Danga is like a mispronunciation of dinghy. Dinghy means boat. Ulta means upside down. So this is the place they would keep their boats upside down. Ulta dinghy. Then it became Ulta Danga. And the boats evaporated. Buildings came. So it became One Ulta Danga Junction Road. This is 1922. We remember, right, 1776 something happened. We remembered that 1970 something happened. So might as well be a good idea to remember what happened in 1922. Before 1922, 4 years prior to it, this property was acquired for 50 rupees. Not even $1 now, but 50 rupees rent a month by Bhakti Siddhanta. Some householders were staying. Then he made it into a full-fledged Gaudiya Mutt, and all the who's who were meeting him. Prabhupada went to meet with him with a person, Narendra Mullik. Do we hear of him now? Not really. Tried to research, ask people. We don't know much about him. And that's what happens to us also. Somebody pushes us closer to Krishna, and he may not be there. Life is like that. So Srila Prabhupada went there, and he was of a very strong-willed nature. Yogeshwar Prabhu in his book, Swami in Strange Land, writes that in childhood, Prabhupada would do a little haggling with his parents. I need a toy, a gun. Leela, I need a toy gun. And his parents said, no, that's not required. Oh no, I need it. They said, okay, you'll get one. They said, no, one for each hand. That's how Prabhupada would bargain. So when he met his Guru Maharaj, he was already a Gandhian. You know about Gandhian? It was a big movement to free India of the British rule. And at that time, it was in such a swing that they were thinking, now independence. Srila Prabhupada had even gave up his degree. He had joined to study English, philosophy and economics in Scottish Church College. And here he meets Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and he tells him, nothing doing. Only thing missing in the world is Krishna consciousness. And the only solution is Krishna consciousness. Now you go out, you are a learned man, I'm paraphrasing it, preach it in English language, the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada is taken back, he's a strong-willed man, he has many questions. First question, can the Gandhian movement wait? Second, at that time, America is going through different changes. It has just come out of the World War I, and they want nothing to do with the world. They wanted to stabilize their own economy. So they won't let others to come and do something. Plus, as the later Indiana Jones movie would show, land of snake charmers. That was the attitude. And Prabhupada is thinking, who will hear? But our acharyas describe to us that when the heart opens and something enters, then it won't let you sleep. It won't also let you dream. So something happened, and Prabhupada wrote about this in a letter on 28th September 1966. Would you like to hear about it? It's phenomenal. He said, at first sight, I'm paraphrasing it, my Guru Maharaj saw me with such what? Love. With such love. It was in my first darshan of Srila Prabhupada that I also learned how to love. Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was also strict with Srila Prabhupada. If somebody is talking in the class to Srila Prabhupada, our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, then his guru would say, hey, have you purchased me with 150 rupees of donation a month? And then he'll tell to our Abhay Charnaravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, why don't you come and give the lecture? But then he was also molding him. Prabhupada next went to Vrindavan 25 he went to Vrindavan. Then when he went later, his guru would tell him, whenever you get money, print books. So this is like a potter making a pot. How does a potter do it? One hand is inside the pot, another hand is outside. So the hand inside is doing the discipline. The hand outside is giving the care. Because love is the strongest force. Force beyond talent, force beyond skills. And one of the saints said, you just need to have concern for the people, things will flow. In Silicon Valley, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu teaches book distribution with a mantra. Just touch the pavement. Go and touch the pavement and the books will go. It's like we have the concern, just touch the pavement. So Srila Prabhupada finally felt that this is how he had touched me. I know how to love. So he went to Vrindavan for the first time in 1925. A Vrajavasi told him, you would find the rooms in a temple, and this temple is the emblem of Vrindavan. Anybody knows about it? Emblem of Vrindavan. Where we see Vrindavan, we only would see that tower. That is, Banki Bahar is a recent phenomena. Madan Mohan temple. So Prabhupada stayed in Madan Mohan temple, and the pujari who helped him was still alive 70 years later when Her Grace Moola Prakriti Mataji interviewed him and wrote the book, Srila Prabhupada, Our Friend for All. And in that book, this pujari says, he was so serious. He won't go shopping to Loi Bazaar. Well, we can go to shop to Loi Bazaar also, but at that time perhaps Loi Bazaar didn't exist also. It was selling lois, which was blankets. Prabhupada didn't go anywhere here or there. He was just busy chanting or observing the Yamuna from the hilltop. And Srila Prabhupada would always focus on his Guru's instruction. Something which he also wrote 40 years later, 1965, when he was in the Jaladuta, isn't it? Krishna taba punya habe bhai, Krishna taba punya habe bhai. E punya karibe jabe Radha Rani sukhi habe, karibe jabe Radha Rani sukhi habe, dhruva ati boli to matai, dhruva ati boli to matai. He's saying that, oh brothers, the Supreme Lord Krishna will bestow virtue upon you, but only when? Who will be pleased? Srimati Radharani. He is an eternal Vrajavasi, so he knows that meaning, that who is the queen of Vrindavan? Vrindavaneshwari. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Sachi Suta Priya Ati. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Sachi Suta Priya Ati. Krishna se Vajar Tulanai. Tulanai. Shei se Mahanta Guru Jagatera Madhye Uru. Shei se Mahanta Guru Jagatera Madhye Uru. Krishna Bhakti Deya Thai Thai. Krishna Bhakti Deya Thai Thai. Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, Sachi Suta Priya, he is unparalleled. Krishna Sebai Jar Tulanai, nobody matches him. And that Mahanta Guru will give Krishna Bhakti. Because it's the devotee's desire. Tar ichha balvan paschate than than. Tar ichha balvan paschate te than than. hoye jate Gauranger naam, hoye jate Gauranger naam. Then पृथ्वी ते नगर आदि आ समुद्र नद नदी पित आ समुद्र नद न शकलै बोले कृष्ण नाम शकलै He's saying everybody, the Samudra, Nadi, oh, that's crazy actually, that all the rivers, people maybe are going on the cruise and doing Hare Krishna, and I think people did go on cruise on the 1st January from here. He was thinking about it. And Prabhupada is writing these 40 years later. In Vrindavan, when he was in 1925, he's meditating on that instruction, and 65 he's writing. And he's overpowered by humility also. I do not have the strength. I do not have the strength because I am Dina Hina. So verse 4. Shekar je kori bare agya jadi dilo more. Shekar je kori bare agya jadi dilo. Jogya nahi ati dina hina. Jogya hina. ताई से तो मारा कृपा मागिते छी अनुरूपा मारा कृपा मागिते छी अनुर आज तुम्ही सवार प्रवीणा आज तुम्ही सवार प्रवीणा. You are Praveen, oh dear Guru Maharaj, I am fallen and incompetent. That being the case, your mercy is today arising in a befitting manner. He is remembering. Why? Because he's finally made it to the ship. Nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. It took him 40 years after he first came to Vrindavan, 1925, but he did not stay long because he thought, I have to fulfill the instructions of my Guru Maharaj. So he went back and started his pharmacy, isn't it? Life happened. Not many people were trusting him. Maybe people around him also were not very much favorable. Sometimes that happens in life. But Prabhupada did not give up. He did not become impersonalist. Long time back, a Back to Godhead article was there by His Grace Ravindra Swarup Prabhu. Ravindra Swarup Prabhu mentions that he and his wife were going to some shop to buy the jewelry and the dress of the deities. And the place was owned by a Hasidic Jew. We know about them, quite traditional in New York. And this person was looking with frowning eyes. What are they doing? And Ravindra Swarup Prabhu is thinking, man, everybody has just beaten him left and right. From the kind of face, he's thinking maybe his family is not cooperating, his kids are not giving respect, his business collaborators have not given him good experience. So that Jew comes to him and asks the owner, what are you doing? So they explain, we are getting for deities. That's already a culture shock. So he said, son, can I tell you a philosophy of my life? Sure, devotees are ever eager to hear. So he says, my philosophy is just 2 words. Can you guess? Don't say Hare Krishna. He said 2 words. People stink. People stink. I meant in a relationship sense. That everybody has turned him down. So now, almost impersonalism. But people, when they were turning down Prabhupada also, he did not. He went closer to Krishna. So he came back again to Vrindavan in 1932. There was a parikrama happening. His Guru Maharaj is speaking, everybody is going for yatra, only Prabhupada is sitting and hearing. So his Gurudev said, I have marked him. 1932. Then Prabhupada again went to Vrindavan in 1935. And in 1935 at Radha Kund, they are walking. And his Gurudev says, Agun Jolbe. The people are now fighting for places in the temple. If you get money, then do what? Print books. Then Prabhupada went back, life happened, and he returned 20 years later. So he met his Guru in 22. Came to Vrindavan first time, 25. Then 32. Then 35. His Gurudev left the body in 36. And then Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, finally 55. So sometimes it takes things to ripen, isn't it? At the own pace. But this time was different. He came to Vrindavan not to just go out, but to stay there longer. Why? Because he had a mission to write the commentary of Bhagavatam. So he first settled in a temple. Do we know about this temple? First temple where he settled. It's near Radha Raman. It is Vamshi Gopal temple. Very recently we went there. Some of the US devotees were also visiting, and we thought, let's go there. Every time you go to the temple, it's dark and electricity is not there. That's a usual phenomenon in Vrindavan. We remember in our childhood, we sleep at the terrace. And some stories were also heard that when you wake up, the monkey was sleeping near you. In Vrindavan, anyway, there's no hatred between jivas. So we went there and we could get the key to upstairs. So we went up and saw the rooms where Prabhupada wrote the commentary. And when you come out of the room, on one side you see Yamuna, on other side you see the skyline of Vrindavan. Here Prabhupada was also penning down the articles to Back to Godhead. And he would have his rickety bicycle, and daily he would take some loads of Back to Godhead and go chi cha, chi cha. I'm not saying this. This is the remembrances of Padmanabh Goswami. Currently he's a Radharaman Goswami. But he would say, daily we'll hear the sound, chi cha, chi cha. Oh, Swami Maharaj has come. He has come to sell his Back to Godhead. Then his parents. Who was his parent? Vishwambhar Goswami, the mayor of Vrindavan at that time. The only person to have the ambassador car. The only car in Vrindavan. He would support Prabhupada. And he would say, hey, Swami Maharaj is a very serious person. He does not go for a lot of social gatherings. He just sits and has a multi-decker, what? Cooking pot, rice, sabji, dal, all in one go. He cooks it and keeps writing. So 1955 Prabhupada came. And then he was also helping some projects of his God brothers in Delhi. But he would have massive plans. In English we call it, now it's I think a Jewish Hebrew word, chutzpah. You have heard about it? Just like super enthusiasm, or in other ways, audacity. But Prabhupada has the spiritual audacity that here he was having just 2 dhotis. And he's telling his god brother, let's make the magazine Sajjana Toshini like Illustrated Weekly. 2 dhotis, Illustrated Weekly. But that's Prabhupada. And one fine day, one of his god brother found him at the door of a doctor. And his god brother, Bhakti Madhav Daita Maharaj, asked him, what are you doing? He said, I'm asking for the 5 rupees per month rent, which 5 rupees per month donation. Now as we come to temples, there are so many temples and devotees, but at those time it was ground zero. So 5 rupees. Okay, so he went back, came after a few hours. Prabhupada was still standing in the sun, waiting for 5 rupees. What happened? He hasn't turned up yet. So his god brother thought, okay, I'll give you. Now Prabhupada's strong-willed nature, he said, every month? Okay, make it 10. Make 5 rupees to 10 rupees and make it every month. Prabhupada is writing, he moves to Radha Damodar temple, which he calls the spiritual center of the world. And he has written now the the commentary to the first canto in 3 volumes. 1100 books were printed, 200 would go with him in Jaladuta. But he's getting repeated dreams of sannyas, right? This is even before. So he talks with his sister, Pishima, and she says, you should take it. I'll take care of your family. And his godbrothers also tell him, take it. Sridhar Maharaj says, well, conflict of interest. I know you well, so take from Keshav Maharaj. And Keshav Maharaj gives him sannyas in 1959. And what does Prabhupada do? So the mantras are happening, right? Whatever mantras. And there is a person sitting behind chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Prabhupada wants to have that volume a little higher than the mantra volume. So every time the mantra would increase, Prabhupada said, no, you also go up. He takes sannyas. He is now not known as Swami Maharaj, but Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Abhay Charanaravind Swami Maharaj. And Prabhupada does something wonderful. He takes his danda, takes a boat. Some of us have been to Yamuna, Keshi Ghat, crosses the boat and goes to an island of Yamuna. Takes his danda, digs it in the middle. Nobody is watching. Maybe somebody was watching. That's why they could recollect. And he starts circumambulating the danda. Doing what? Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Literally, with his own kartal. As though now mission half done. Now I'll go to US. All those acquaintances of Srila Prabhupada would tell that how Srila Prabhupada just lived in the spirit of Vrindavan. Now we go to Radha Damodar, there is a person who would stay near, Hridayananda Goswami Maharaj, Babaji Maharaj. He would say, I told Prabhupada, let me clean your room, and once without asking, he cleaned some cobwebs. And Prabhupada said, Arey no, these are Vrajavasis. You shouldn't do it. That was the spirit. And finally, a young Kishan Lal who would give him milk daily. It was his seva. One fine day he comes in 1965. Every day he would provide the milk. Today he was not there. Why? Gone to US. Gone to US. And then he comes back 6 years later with dancing white elephants. So if we think about Vrindavan, we think about Prabhupada, isn't it? We think about Prabhupada, we think about Vrindavan. And therefore we'll end with what His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj wrote about Prabhupada. Jadi Prabhupada na hoito, tabe ki hoito, jivana bahite kise. Yadi Prabhupada na hoito, tabe ki hoito, jivana bahite kise. Nitai gaurera apar karuna, nitai gaurera apar karuna, ke dite shakal deshe, ke dite shakal deshe. Keep playing. Who would have given the Nitai Gaur Apar Karuna? Who would know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Now everywhere there are these Gaur Nitais. Maybe one day we'll have in Antarctica also. Because now Srimad Bhagavatam has reached Antarctica. Paschate Rajata Papi Durachari, Paschate Rajata Papi Durachari, Shunyavadi Mayavadi, Shunyavadi Mayavadi, Tadera Uddar Karibare Mana, Tadera Uddar Karibare Mana, Hen kon daya nidhi, Hey na kauna who will be Dayanidhi, the oceans of mercy, who can enter into the hearts of Shunyavadis, Mayavadis. It takes something. Tadera nikate kon janasi, Tadera nikate kon janasi, Belait hari na, Belait hari. Who would distribute Harinam? Who would distribute Harinam? Sabhya jiva rupe gadite tadera, Sabhya jiva rupe gadita tadera, ke hoite aguya, ke hoite. Who would come to inject Harinam and create this civilization, isn't it? These paintings, where we can be united as well as separated. Then, Deshe Deshe Hari Vigraha Seva Arati Ratri Dine. In all the worlds, Hari Vigraha Seva, Seva of the deities. Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji. Who gifted? Goswami Maharaj, then Srila Prabhupada also. They had the transcendental trickery, isn't it? To get him here. And I have heard anybody who comes here might just stay here or will just stay here. And Ratha Yatra Di Mahotsava Shaba, Ratha Yatra Hotsava Shaba, Shikaite Kona Jane, Shikaite Kona Jane. Gita Bhagavat Chaitanya Charita Premamrita Rasasar, explaining all the scriptures, which is Gita Bhagavat Chaitanya Charita, and in a simple way, Katana Sundar Sharala Korea, in a like a smoothie form, no need to digest it. Kata Kashta Sahi Pritamane Rahi, Kata Kashta Pritamane rahi, Kevadita Hari Nama, Kevadita Hari Nama. And because he is Vrajavasi, he has given us this dham. Isn't this new Vrindavan dham? Is this new Mayapur dham? Everything, this is it. So he has given. Kedite modera puri vrindavana, ke modera puri vrindavana, Mayapura mata dham, Mayapura mata. And with the inspiration, the other dhams are also coming, isn't it? Farm communities, temples, New Jagannath, New Navdeep, New Vrindavan, what else? New Jagannath will come then, and then new Vrindavan will come, and new Cube Vrindavan will come. And he's Parama Mangala, he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shikhadhana, and Achare and Prachare. So we end with Jayapataka Swami Maharaj's prayer. Prema kalpataru nitai gaurera, Prema kalpataru nitai gaurera, Kripa kana labhi bare, Kripa kana labhi. I need one drop of mercy. Niravadhi Jaya Pataka Hridaya, Niravadhi Jaya Pataka Hridaya, Tomare Sharana Kore, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Please forgive me, I'm 2 minutes over time. So whatever you order, make. Should we take time for some?
There's time for one question.
Okay.
Does anybody have a question? We have time for one question. We can go on for a few more minutes.
Or if you want to say a reflection.
Yes, that's true. Questions, comments, reflections, anything you would like to share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very nice class. Prabhuji, we always say that this is also like, this temple is New Vrindavan.
Yeah.
Prabhupada created so many Vaikunthas. So then when we come to Bhakti, then why do we hanker to go to Golok Vrindavan?
To Golok.
So if we are already in Vaikuntha, then why do we want to, I mean, how do we understand and how do we prepare ourselves on this?
See, there are different moods. Thank you, Vrindapati Prabhu, for good, wonderful reflection and question. It's actually a great reflection, depends on our mood. As we spoke in the beginning, the devotees are interested in mukti right here. Not videha mukti, but jivan mukti. Jivan mukti means the reaping of the benefits of spirituality right here, which means feeling that this temple is Vrindavan. But then we also understand that someday this material tabernacle, this body has to be given up. So we hanker to unite. What we call in Rupa Goswami's language, reach the bhava siddhi or the prem siddhi. We say every day, right? Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against all these offenses to quickly achieve the desired goal of life, Krishna prema. So when one revives the eternal relationship with Krishna, then one is sent to a Prakat Vrindavan. And then finally a Prakat Vrindavan. And then if Krishna desires, just like he desired for Srila Prabhupada, come back to start a revolution. So that is also there because that's the original place. But while living, as good as it is. Does that help? Thank you.
Jai, let's give His Grace Harivamsha Prabhu a big
for your kind
Haribo.
attention.
Haribo.